In this video, I want to show you how you can change settings of the visual display of fundamental frequency in Praat. So here I have a sound that I've opened in Praat, and I can click on View and Edit, and you can see now I have this window up here with the waveform up here and the spectrogram over here. And then over here, this blue line you see, that's the visual representation of the fundamental frequency, or for short, F0. Um, so people call this many things. Sometimes they might call it the fundamental frequency curve, or F0 curve, or F0 trace, F0 track. Although it's not representing something perceptual, that is not to, it's not representing what we actually perceive as pitch. People also call this the pitch trace or pitch track or pitch curve as well. So you can see if I click on anywhere on the blue line, Praat tells me what the value of F0 is at that point, here on the right axis. So here at this point in time, that is at 0.976 seconds into the sound file, it's 88.06 hertz. For the F0 values in Praat, always look at the right axis to see what the value is. The left axis corresponds to what's going on in the spectrogram. So for F0, always look at the right axis. So for instance, if I click here, you can see at this point, it's 106.1 hertz. Now, something you might notice is that the blue line is not taking up very much space over this vertical amount of space we have. And that's because currently the axis for F0 goes all the way up to 500 hertz. Now this happens to be a male speaker. I'll play it really quick, the sound.
Thank you for considering me for this opportunity.
That's a fairly low sounding pitch overall, and you can see looks like his fundamental frequency is somewhere around 100 hertz. So you can actually change the axis limits for F0 by going to pitch and, crucially, advanced pitch settings. Do not go to pitch settings. Go to advanced pitch settings. And if you click on advanced pitch settings, then you can see that you can set the view range. And in this case, let's say maybe something like 80 hertz to, let's say, maybe 200 hertz. Now, if I click on apply, in general in Praat, if I click on apply, I can apply the settings and not close the window and see what happens. So it looks like I still might want the bottom lower than 80 hertz. You can see that some of the curve is going sort of out of the window. So let's try 60 hertz. And now I'm going to say, oh, that's probably fine. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. And so now you can see I have a much better sense of the ups and downs of the pitch curve because I've reset the axes so that now the ceiling, that is the maximum value displayed here, is 200 hertz. And then at the bottom of the range, I'm at 60 hertz. One last thing I'll just say is if you go to pitch and pitch settings, one thing you might want to do is change the drawing method of the F0 track. If you change it to speckles, it makes it more accurate for the digital representation of the speech signal. So speckles, you can see if I zoom in with Command or Control N, you can see now I'm seeing the individual dots of the fundamental frequency estimates that Praat makes. So, it's not really a line. Remember again, we have finite sampling rate, we have a finite number of estimates of F0 over time, and so really this representation is more accurate and some people like it better. Okay, so I've shown you where the pitch track is in Praat, where you can see what the values are here on the right axis, and how you can change these axes using advanced pitch settings, changing the view range. And finally, I've shown you how to go to pitch settings, um, and where you can change the drawing method from between speckles and curves and so forth.